tapped into something that's pretty genius in terms of the answer. I mean, it's not like, I personally think that the schools and that should be invested in you, and councils invested in you and your kind of business nationwide, because it will kind of cull like this mentality of what's going on now. It will make sure that it will give like people a reason, like, you know what, actually I don't need to do this. I know I can go for that. I know I can go for that. I don't need to answer to him. Like, life isn't so dark. Someone said on one of the comments on one of my recent videos that these children, because last one was about knife crime I did, and they said like basically these people on road, like people in gangs and that, they're depressed, and I didn't think of it as being a depressed issue, and they probably are, because maybe they don't have, like, they come from more than likely a poor background, no confidence, no kind of family, they get in with the wrong family, and then that's it. You're down the wrong road. But if you catch them from when they're little, from in school, and you give them confidence, you give them, it's an education. It's like you say, you don't have to know, the capital of whatever, but you know yourself, and you know how to read other people, and you can look people in the eye. I think it's brilliant, man. So
it's hugely important, and again, I think it's as important. I've said it a lot of times. I don't see the point of sending a kid out who's got a great GCSEs in French, English, maths and history, but he doesn't know the right or wrongs about carrying a knife. So
okay, no, that's very interesting. So what? Okay, so this kind of TikTok 7-second culture or whatever, or things basically being quick, easy access. So like where it would take you like 15 minutes to forward to a part and find a part. What do you think that's done in terms of like the ability to just get anything like that?
Yeah, exactly. It's that fast, want it now attitude, mentality, and if it takes longer than 7 seconds, I ain't interested. Can't be bothered. I'll switch off. I ain't doing that. So it's long. It's long. That was the one, wasn't it? It's long.
Yeah. So that will affect what you're even willing to learn.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
100%.
And what you're willing to commit to.
Yeah. Kids come into my class and they say, we spar, and I'm like, mate, you know what? You ain't. Sometimes I get the hump, and I'm sort of like, yeah, spar me. I said, yeah, we can spar. No, I'm sparring you, coach, and spar. I said, no, you want to spar? You've walked in there 5 minutes, you won't shut up, and you want to spar. I said, all right, spar me. I've only done it on 2 or 3 occasions, but it's powerful when I have. I said, put the gloves on. I've got the gloves on. Right, let's spar. Let's go. You hit me to the head, I ain't going to hit you. I'll just tap you to the body. And I tap them, I go like, is that all right? Is that going to hurt you? And they're like, yeah, that's fine, sir. I said, so don't panic. Can I hit you, sir? I said, yeah, you can hit me. And sometimes I say, do you know what, if they're too big? I say,
so tight.
I say, I'm going to hit you back as hard as you hit me. Which is a respectful. I heard that in a dojo once.
You know what?
It's powerful. It opens up the door to everything. It's like, well, how far do you want to push it, right? And it's powerful stuff. And I spar these kids, and what I do is I just get out of the way of their punches for 30 seconds. And they're in pieces. They're knackered. They sort of feeling a little bit sort of like embarrassed because they can't land a hand on like a 50-something-year-old geezer. And then I say, right, and everyone else is watching. They're like, oh. And then I say, right, are you done? You're all right now? And I'm not breathing heavy. And they're like, all right, cut. Yeah. I say, right, you ready to listen now? Yeah. And then you got them. Do you know what I mean? But it's this thing like you want it now. So everything's easy and you can get it in 2 seconds flat. It's from the X Factor. You can be famous. You go through 6 weeks on a TV show and all of a sudden you're going to be the next big thing. I don't know anyone off X Factor. I know, like, I think it's Harry Styles. I think they've done all right. Leona Lewis, I don't know where she is now, but she was wicked. After that, I'm struggling. I'm struggling. Who's
all of them on a conveyor belt, isn't it? Like, they just, you're out, all right, you in. One in, one out.
And it's all forgotten. It's been going for how long years now? When the show first came out, I used to sit down and watch it like everyone else, mate. I was thinking, and then it dawned on me what this is and what this is doing to young kids. Like, young kids walk through the door and they're sort of like, what are you doing, mate? Like, I'm going to be a Premiership footballer. Is that why you're not getting down in maths? You're not studying. I don't need maths, so I'm going to be a Premiership footballer. And then I speak to the PE teachers. No, he's not even in the team. And then a very good friend of mine, Adam, Frayling is who I used to box with again. Just so happened again when I turned up with, to meet all my friends boxing. He's a scout for like a couple of Premiership teams. I can't remember which teams they are now, but one's major teams, and both of his sons are in the ranks, and they're both doing all right. And I phoned him up one day. I goes, Adam, these kids keep walking in telling me they're going to be Premiership footballers. What's the score with that? Like, what sort of age do you get this? And he goes, no, we find them about 6, 9,
how old are
12. Yeah, 12 years of age. And these kids are like 14, 15, 16. And I'm like, mate, you don't even play for the team. If you would have been scouted by now.
Yeah.
Someone would have, and it's hard to break people's dreams, but at the same time, what do you do?
No, people need a reality check.
Yeah.
Because I've known people who, you know, from there was like 20 to like maybe mid-30s saying, you know, they're gonna do music or they're gonna do acting or they're gonna do whatever, and some of them, okay, there's not even that talented. As in, like, almost I don't want to be disrespectful, but in a deluded way.
Yeah.
Like, the only one who's feeling you is you. And people need that, but people need that check. People need to say, you know what, like, all right, I'll do it as a hobby, but let me work on something else as well. And I think the reason why they don't is maybe because of that TikTok mentality, where it's too long to kind of put effort into something. Whereas the ones who have been working with you, especially I believe the young ones, they're not scared of discipline. They're not scared to kind of put effort into it. No. It's like people who go gym. So if you go gym, you don't mind that tough time in the gym because you know you're gonna get results.
Yeah.
You know it's long to kind of eat healthy, you know, just grilled chicken breasts, vegetables and that. It's easier to open a packet of crisps or to put something in the oven. Yeah. But you know you got the discipline to do that because you know you're gonna get results because you're not scared of it. Yeah. Whereas when you come up with this fast-paced world, and you can never detach from it, then you're in trouble. And that's done by design then. Yeah. And you know what that leads to in terms of weight training and stuff like that? The incidence of young men using steroids now, using gear,
is higher than it's ever been. And why? Because they can't be bothered to put the work in. You know, that's going to continue, and that feeds through into kids who leave school thinking that they're going to have this, that and the other, and they got to carry on this lifestyle. I've got to have the Gucci loafers, I've got to have, you know, the what's the thing with the cross in it, the arrow, the thing they wear, the circle and the line down it, that outfit. I can't remember what the name of it is now, because I don't care. That's why I don't know. I've got to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean? I don't care what it is, but they've all got it. Not cross, I can't remember what it is, but they've all got to have that, get like Canada Goose business as well. All that as well. That's another one, but it should come £600 for a jacket. Canada.
You know what? If you want to live that lifestyle and you want, then aim high. You can't say you want that, but not again. Like if someone wants, say, abs, or if someone wants to be a champion, you can't just, you know, go gym once. And then eat healthy one day, and then say, you know, it's not working, man. Like,
that's right. Yeah.
I can't do this.
I can't be bothered with this. I thought it was going to be easy.
Yeah. And you know, this is long, man.
You don't. Yeah. Well, what did you honestly expect? But what do you know what this leads to again? Though this leads to kids going down the route of drugs, dealing and selling drugs, easy, quick money. Yeah, and it because then you see the guy, and he's doing this, and he says, like, if you do that and you go over there with that, then that's yours. And you're like, what, 500 quid, £1,000, 800 quid. Yeah. What, for just going from there to there? Do you know what? Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. Because I tried that for 3 weeks. I tried training to become the next bodybuilding champion, and I would find my riches. I tried singing, thinking that didn't work. I tried, you know, going athletics or going boxing or whatever, and it was too hard. I had to work too hard at it. But that seems like that's going to get me where I want to be. Yeah. It's not healthy for young people to have this sort of stuff ran down their throat and this belief.
So going back to the quote that one of your friends said, I blame the parents. Yeah. Well, what do you think about that? Do you or don't you?
It's got a lot to do with it. It's got a lot to do with it. I mean, you know, the incidents go out, and
do you get any parents challenging you? Like, say, you know, you done a PE class in a school. Have you ever had a parent come up to you and say, like, oh, like, you know, I don't want you teaching my son or daughter boxing is this, that, and the other, or I don't agree with it, or has all parents been okay?
There are only 2 incidences that come to mind. One of them was with a guy his mum was very obviously very protective of him. She was very concerned that he was going to get hurt, but I had to explain to her about 19 times that it's non-contact, that he'll only be hitting the pads. And I spoke to her on the phone and I said, like, you know, you've got to balance this up with I can understand your concern for him, but the world we live in today, his ability to defend himself. Like, do you not want him? Are you not that concerned about his safety in that manner that he might have to actually? And when I say defend yourself, I'm not talking, and I explain this to her and I explain it to the kids, I'm not talking about beating someone up. I'm talking about if someone's throwing shots at you, to have the ability to get out the way of 2 or 3 of them, because as I've told the kids before, that's got me out of trouble loads of times. I've had a confrontation with a guy because I'm a small guy. The guy gets sort of like a bit fresh and thinks, yeah, this guy's just talking, I'm going to throw a couple of shots at him. I get out a couple of way shots and I'm like casual saying, mate, like, do you know what I mean, it's best if we leave it. And he throw a couple of shots and I get out of the way of it, and it's sort of like they realise that you've got something that they haven't, and problem solved. No punches landed, no police called, no blood spilt. End of story. Wow, that's powerful. Again, as I say, it's better to have it and not need it, need it and not have it. The other one occasion that comes to mind was a young lad that I was working with, who's one of the mouthiest, self-obsessed kids I've ever worked with in my life. He looked like Zippy. He looked like he's had a head shape like Zippy. If you right, and his mouth was as big. And he was full of himself, and he's this, that, and the other. And why was it? Because he had a couple of brothers who were bagmen and known on the road, right? And I straightened him out on a few occasions, and I straightened him out to the point of one day in front of the class, just said, like, really, you think you're this, that, and the other, and blah blah blah. Well, why would you? I can't remember exactly what it was, but what would you do if this happened? And he said, yeah, I'll do this, that. That was it. Something along the lines of, what would you do if this happened? Oh, well, yeah, if you'd done that, not to me, but if someone done that to me, I'd do this, that, and I goes, you're talking to he's about this big, this kid, right? He's about 12, 13, but he's about that tall. And I goes, well, if you spoke like that to a grown man, would you think, oh yeah, but I'd do this and I'd do that? I said, mate, look at you. I said, the geezer, if you spoke to the wrong man like that, I said, he'd throw you over a hedge. I said, you are mad. I said, I could throw you over a hedge. I'm tiny. I said, a man bigger than me would throw you over a hedge and you're done. Oh yeah, well, if you'd done that, I'd get my brother, wouldn't I? And I goes,
there you go.
Yeah, I goes, here we go now. I said, well, there you go. I said, now that's where problems start. So you go and get your brother, because you've mouthed off to a grown man like you shouldn't have. You go and get your brother. Your brother comes along now and gets into a fight with this guy or a big problem. Then that guy goes and gets his mate, and then before we know it, someone's been hurt, someone's been arrested. And I said, all because of you and that big mouth of yours. And he went away, and it took him down a couple of notches. And then he obviously couldn't deal with that, and he must have gone home and told his mum about it, or his brother. And then next thing I heard was, oh, I thought that was a bit, well, it wasn't that. They listen, do you know what I mean? I come from, I can talk with anyone, I can talk with people, I'm nothing special, but these people were coming from a rough level. Unfortunately, they were coming from a level where there's nothing productive coming out of that, and I'm trying to teach productivity. But if you're trying to do that, it's like the old-fashioned saying, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I'm teaching you something here today, but then you go home and they take you another 2 steps back from it. What chance do I stand? So what do you do in
that situation, like where on that day they're responsive, they feel good about themselves, then when they go back home, they might say, oh, mum or bro, look what I learned. And shut up, man. And they just get shut down.
All you can do is keep it going. That's all you can do. What else can you do? Can't go home. I speak to some parents. I've always offered myself up to schools to say, look, I'm happy to talk with parents. And you know what, I in certain areas, in certain schools, the parents are sort of like, we develop a bond and a connection straight away, because my name's Leroy. That gives a lot away straight away. I'm not a teacher, I haven't got a degree, I teach this, that and the other here, and then they start talking to me, and they talk in a way that they might not speak to a teacher, and I can relate to it, and I speak back to them in with the,
on a level,
a certain way, on a level, exactly. And we've got some great productive stuff done there. I mean, another thing a kid said to me once, because we were talking about, I goes, like, there's no situation where you should ever hit a girl. Do Do you know what I mean, to boys? I said, there's nothing, because they do in schools, like, still sort of, and I said, that you just don't. I said, I'm teaching you boxing in this class. I said, and you're going in that, and you've had this little thing with this girl and blah, 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 and you pushed her. Like, you know, things like that have happened. Touch wood, do you know what I mean? We've never had any incidents where any kids of any of the schools that I've taught have ever used what they've been taught by me against someone. But I pick up on the slightest little thing. And I remember one kid, and I goes, you don't ever put your hand on a kid, and the kid turned around and goes, oh, well, my mum told me that if a girl hits me, I can drop kick her. And I said, what? He goes, yeah, but that's what my mum said to me. I goes, you know what? I said, and I had to sort of bite my tongue. I thought, right, just be careful, take 2 seconds out here, Leroy. I said, you know what? I said, I reckon you misheard your mum. I said, I reckon you misheard what your mum said. I said, because for a woman
how
to
old
say
was
that, this kid, again, probably about 12. It's in the secondary school.
So
yeah,
okay,
yeah. So this is, do you know what I mean? They're not that far from getting out into the real world with that type of mentality going on in their head. So what I said to him, I thought, you know what? I reckon you misheard your mum. I reckon your mum said something else, and you must have misheard what she said. Yeah. Because that no woman would really say that about another woman. I said, you know, men that,
I hope not.
blah blah blah. And then I don't think I saw him until the next week, because I probably only trained him once a week. And when I saw him again, it popped back into my mind, and I goes, I'm not sure if I asked him or if he came up to me with it, but he came up to me sheepish, and he was like, yeah, sir, you were right. I did mishear my mum. Yeah, that's not what she said. Now, she might well have said that, but he might have gone home that day and said, coach said this, like blah 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 blah, and his mum might have turned around and gone, do you know what, that ain't, maybe you caught me on a bad day, son, or something. But
or maybe was joking.
Perhaps
I would like to think so.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I hope so too.
But you handled that well, because
thank you.
Like you said, you were like, my reaction was, it would have been something different.
yeah.
But you handled it well, because you're probably used to it now, so you're used to kind of taking a step back and thinking about what you're going to say before you say it, which is a good tool to have, really.
You got to be careful, you got to be smart about it. You don't want to offend anyone. I'm not going to run anyone's mum down, because I mean, she might not have said that, and
then it would just get silly.
But it's do you know what, it's worrying, man. It's worrying what I see out there. It's worrying what I see with the young people today, and there needs to be what I'm doing. It needs to be done in every school.
Who in your Sweet Science, how many of you are there? Is it just you go around to every school now, or is it like you have different people working?
I've got several coaches who work with me at Sweet Science, and they're all excellent. You know, professional boxers, ex-boxers, coaches. You know, and again, like I say, almost every boxer who I've ever met got into boxing because they were bullied initially. So it gives them a little story. All of us have got a story. Every boxer I know has got a story to tell.
And what about the private lessons? What about them? How can people find you? Do you have a website like for Sweet Science? Or?
Yeah, sweetscienceboxing.co.uk. You just plug that in off your YouTube.
Do you have any
Sweet Science Boxing, whatever?
Do you have an Instagram or?
Yeah, there's
Twitter?
an Instagram thing, but
You're gonna have to give it, and I'll put it there.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah,
definitely. Like, you see these kind of things, they're so positive, and you probably have touched so many futures that you didn't realize. Like, you had influence in so many futures, and you and your other coaches in someone's life. You don't know. Like, you could have, given confidence to a girl who, could have went with the wrong crowd and end up getting raped, or a boy given confidence, he could have been one of them guys who, at the spur of the moment, put a knife in someone, and then when he pulls out, he's like, my life's over. You could have been that guy or you are probably that guy who's swayed him away from that. Who instead of picking up that knife, he's picked up gloves.
I like to believe so, man.
I think what you're doing is brilliant. So
thank you, man. Thank you.
If it was up to me, like, schools, especially schools that have children who are troubled, or not everyone learns the same way. So it's not fair to put everyone in a blanket system that kind of forces you to learn the same as everyone else. So
it's very true.
With what you're doing, I think, especially children who find it difficult to learn in school, they might grow up thinking they're dumb. Like, I remember from secondary up until college, where I had a wicked tutor, I used to think I was stupid.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I used to think like
same as that.
I was stupid.
Same as that, man.
And it's the education system that failed me, not myself.
Yeah.
Into believing that, like, no child should leave a secondary school with that kind of lack of confidence in themselves in terms of their smarts. But it happens, and I know it happens because it happened with me. But maybe if there would have been like a boxing class in that school, you could come out with something, with something valuable. I mean, I think what you're doing is a brilliant thing.
Thank you.
What I want to do, we can cut it here, but before we cut, it's traditional for me to do my 3 questions. Yeah.
Okay.
With every guest, I'm going to give you
I saw this.
three random questions.
Okay.
Because I know we've got so much more to talk about. But it's not going to last on these SD cards.
Okay.
And I want to keep you for, other episodes.
Sure, we can do this again, man. I'd love to.
I think you're a really interesting guy, and I'll say one more time, honestly, like, what you're doing is a positive thing, and you may never see every seed that you plant, but you've done it. You've done by doing what you're doing.
Think so, man.
And putting that positivity. I hope there's someone out there random who said, you know what, I like what this guy's doing. Let me holler at you, and expand what you've already been.
I got a thing the other day, man, about 3 weeks ago, actually, from a guy who used to train about 2 or 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and he just texted me out of the blue, just saying, "Coach, I just want to tell you," and I mean, he must be 22 or something like that. He goes, "Coach, I just want to tell you, like, thank you for all the coaching you give me over the years and blah blah blah. It's really helped me." And then my daughter sent me something about a week ago. She sent her graduation picture or something like that out, and one of her mates on Instagram said, and I was with her. I was like giving her a kiss and cuddle. She was out dressed up, ready to go out. He sent me she sent me the screenshot of the thing, and it was a mate of us going, "Oh, is that your dad?" And this, how they're speaking, "Is that your dad for real?" She's going, "Yeah, that's my dad." He goes, "Oh man, he used to teach me boxing at school. Say hello to him for me. He got me. He got me through my GCSEs. He's the top man and blah blah blah." And I'm like, I don't even know who the kid is, man. But you know what I mean? He knows me, and he knows my daughter, but we didn't know.
How's that make you feel?
That. Oh man, I get a buzz out of it. Like I say, this is what I'm born to do, mate. I don't want to do.
That's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, mate. I was buzzing. Do you know what I mean? She's known this guy for years, but didn't even ever know. But he's come up with, your dad's top geese. I'm like,
yes. Right, let me get to these questions.
You gonna hit him with me fresh, or do I get a thing?
Well,
do I get a look in, or you
this is
whatever you do. Go on, you do whatever you do.
This is a fresh. All right, ready? They're totally random.
Of course.
I have a bunch of questions that I pick out.
3 questions.
All right, 3 questions. Ready? If you could reverse any 2 things in the current world, what would they be?
Reverse any 2 things in the current world.
Any 2 things.
Any 2 things in the current world. One of them would probably be to reverse Donald Trump's presidency. Go back in time. We're talking about
current. So current. You can't like reverse something that's already happened. Like current things that are happening. Anything.
Current things that happen.
Yeah. So it could be you could say Donald Trump.
Yeah, I've got to stick with that. He's got to fit in there something. Yeah. So I'm going to stick with that.
Second one.
The second thing, what would I reverse?
Yeah.
I would reverse the coronavirus, man.
Yeah.
I think that's an obvious one, isn't it? Yeah. I would reverse that.
Okay.
Please.
Sweet. All right. For you, because our mutual friend, told me you're a bit of a boxer.
Mr. Leslie guy, yes, indeed.
All right. Greatest boxer of all time.
See, now that's a tough one. I'm gonna have to let me split that.
Go on.
Right, and I'll tell you the reason why. All right, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard. Right, they're very closely linked.
Okay.
Sugar Ray Leonard sort of, was the mini Muhammad Ali, the pocket-sized Muhammad Ali. Reason why Muhammad Ali paved the way for someone like Sugar Ray Leonard. Muhammad Ali made so many differences culturally, politically. He was much more than a sports person. So I've probably got to go with Muhammad Ali. He takes number 1, but number 2 spot, who I have to mention, for me was Sugar Ray Leonard, because he was the Apollo Creed. See, this is what I'm talking about, Apollo Creed. That was the man I'm talking about. I've never seen a black man articulate, smart, in shape, handsome, rocking his own show, calling his own shots. So Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Sweet. Okay, I like that. Very interesting. And then the last question. Okay.
No.
All right. If Donald Trump and if Donald Trump and Theresa May had a baby and they asked you to name it, it's a boy, what would you call it?
Lucifer.
Hey! You know what? I asked myself the same question. I said the same thing.
There you go. There you go.
Cool. You know what? Leroy, it's been real, man.
Solid, mate.
I'm going to
love it.
Put all the contact details in the YouTube. It will be in the description. You'll also see it along there. Support Leroy, sweetscience.co.uk.
That's the one.
If you want your child to
sweetscienceboxing.co.uk.
sweetscienceboxing.co.uk. If you want your child to have confidence and just give your child a tool in life, hit him up on the Insta, on your website, on Facebook as well.
You got it, yeah.
On Facebook. So all the socials. Support him. He's doing a positive thing. I'll hit you back with the next episode probably next weekish or in another 2 weeks. Subscribe, comment, like, share, care, wrap up. We're out. That's it.